A few years ago, I decided I wanted to figure out how to do hydroponics, with the goal of eventually being able to grow lettuce indoors year-round. I started by just checking out tons of articles and YouTube videos, and after several months of problem solving, I finally managed to put together a prototype. But there's a lot I didn't like about this system, so I decided to go back to the drawing board to make a system that was a bit simpler, with less moving parts and pieces. After heading back to YouTube for some inspiration, I figured I'd try the crack key downspout method, popularized by Mike Van Duzy, and see if I could tweak that to work for my situation. Going into the project, I decided on a few goals to help guide me in how best to develop the system. First, high yield, small area. Because I was working indoors, I knew that space would probably be the greatest restriction. My design would need to be compact, with a focus on quick turnaround. If everything is optimized, this design should be able to produce 20 heads of lettuce per week from just 8 square feet of floor space. Secondly, low maintenance. Although creating the system would take a lot of upfront work, I didn't want it taking too much of my time once everything was in place. My goal was 1 hour per week. I've been able to get it down to roughly 1.5 hours per week, but I think I can continue to reduce this. Finally, scalable. My hope is to continue expanding this system. Doing this means that it needs to be both cost and labor efficient. Most of the work and costs are upfront one-time things that won't become unreasonable when scaled up. I plan on splitting this into a couple of videos, one explaining how to create the system, and another walking through how to actually use it. I've also created a guidebook to go along with the videos, where you can access all of this information in a written form. This will have a little more detailed information, and I've included all the links and charts and measurements in there to hopefully make it easier for people to go back and reference that information later on. A link to that will be in the description. But just a disclaimer here, I'm no expert. Pretty much everything I know about hydroponics comes from watching YouTube videos and making mistakes. There's still a lot I know I'm doing wrong and want to improve, so I'd love to hear any suggestions you might have on how to update the system. I'm always looking for ways to streamline the process and reduce the time between seeding and harvest. Many thanks to Mike Van Duzy for introducing me to this way of doing hydroponics. I'm super grateful for him and the whole online community that him and others have developed. I figure sharing what I've learned can sort of be my way of giving back to this community. So I hope you enjoy it, and I may be able to use this information to help grow your own lettuce.